Good day, everyone. I felt my heart needed to post those scripture references in the on the community tab, and then come on and talk to you about something. I mean, I know that all y'all probably have your respective churches and your pastors that you sit under and all that. But this channel here, with all of you in it, I take it seriously because Father entrusted me to share and to use this platform to help you guys understand things and to share with you what He wants to be made known. So on the scripture references on the community tab is something that I wanted to make you aware of today. And I've been watching this for some time now, where it was like this big and it's just beginning to expand and accelerate. And I'm talking about the hearts and the mind of people, even other believers, where I'm seeing folks, I observe, I discern, okay, where I'm seeing people just growing colder and colder toward each other and getting caught up into self-idolization. And what I mean there is a lot, and it happens without people even realizing they're doing it, okay? Where they're more concerned with their life and what's comfortable for them, what they've got time enough to feel like doing, or whether they're willing to make a sacrifice on behalf of someone else, even when they're tired and whatever. The heart of a servant doesn't exist when everybody is just looking at their self and their own needs and their own life and their own routine and getting caught up in this, that, and every other thing, which is a ploy of the adversary because, in his camp, goodwill and love and servitude and sacrifice and going the extra mile, like Yeshua even says in the scripture, if someone asks you to go with them a mile, go with them too. Or if someone steals your coat, give them your cloak also. I mean, there's all these things. And what I am observing in most of the population is just the opposite. No one wants to just give when they're asked. Yeshua even says that in his scripture, give to him who asks of you. Where people will just kind of be like, well, I got to see if I can fit that in. Or I got to see if I'm too tired. Or I got to see if I can feel like dealing with that. What's in it for me? Is there goosebumps and feel goods in that for me? And when I see this happening among mankind to mankind, where there's a coldness and a self-centeredness and that self-idolization when you are your own focus, you know, that self-idolization. When I see that going on in interpersonal things, I know that that is happening with people in their heart toward the Father, and then they're self-deceiving themselves, saying, well, I'm a Christian, I believe in him, and I pray and I read my Bible when I have time, you know. Oh, well, I have to work and not observe Sabbath because, well, I got to make money, you know, which is breaking one of the Ten Commandments, but, you know, so if that's happening between people, they're not passionate about Father, but they're deceiving themselves saying that they are. And they're like, oh, well, I submit to Father, when they don't even obey his commands at all, even the royal law. So, you know, I'm seeing this. This is a sobering thing to me. Where, like, other brothers and sisters are like, oh, yeah, that's been happening a long time. But I don't think that people see the broadness and the intensity that it really has developed into. So, you know, most people, you know, out in the world, even people that's not walking with Father or even trying to, you know, they're just in survive mode, right? And all they do is take. They don't put back, they don't give back. And what I mean, I'm not talking about material things. I'm talking about input where we might be able to put life in, you know, speak Father's word and whatever. And I would expect such things to happen with those who are out in the world, but in the body, to me, we don't have any excuse, because the scripture, the word himself, told us how to be, and also told us how not to be, and warned us of these times that are here. Nobody's willing to sacrifice. And you know, you get people who say, well, when it comes down to it, where they say, well, take the mark or die, you know, renounce God or die. And they're like, well, they might as well have to cut my head off. But you know what? Before that time is here, and people are not sacrificial now. I just have to pose a question of what makes us think we're going to be so disciplined and so passionate at that time. You know, fear will turn to terror at that time, and if we have not been in a space of overcoming, you know, we'll take the mark. We will do what that system of Sennacherib is trying to get us to do. And it'll be a shame, because people will be stuck in a place where they never wanted to be. And I don't know if you guys are aware, the brethren here are aware, but I will share this with you just in case you didn't know. We all talk about having a guardian angel, which we do have. It's assigned to us when we're born. But what we don't understand is that there's also a scribe angel that stands beside us all of our life and writes down everything we say and do. A Father can read our heart and our mind. They keep good records in the kingdom. And this is why it says in the scripture that we will give an account for every idle word we speak. And then another scripture talks about, where we do things, behave in certain ways, and we think, who sees and who knows? Maybe we think that Father doesn't see or know when he absolutely does. Life is getting more intense. For us trying to really walk in the footsteps set before us by Yeshua, we catch the brunt of things and things get more difficult all the time. We get abandoned. People just will draw themselves away. And it isn't us personally, it's the light in us. Remember, we talked about the light yesterday. And in Yeshua's word, he said, you're sons of the light. Him, right? And that light burns and torments what's dark. So if any of you are having problems with your heart condition and your mind condition, understand this is by design, but you must overcome. Don't let that settle as a root in your heart, because that right there is like a cancer. We're here to leaven this world, this creation, with the kingdom of Father. And I myself still struggle because, unfortunately, I've not overcome. This flesh has not become fully word. And so I'm no different than the rest of you, except I have a responsibility of a ministry on my shoulders to carry for the Father so that he can do what he wants to do. I'm just a tool. That's it, Still trying to daily walk out my salvation and work that through every day, like the scripture says. But I think if you, now that you're alert to it, you'll be able to look around and see so many places where people are cold and they're got just this bad character about them. They're mad with life and they're mad with everything. They're offended, right? So what do? They focus on themselves all that much more, and they get in isolation. See, that's what the adversary would want. And that's how predators hunt, There's a herd of deer or a herd of who knows what, right? And they single one out. And then they pounce and they bring them down, and they're down for the kill, right? That's the way that other kingdom is. And we get lulled into this false anesthesia of, well, I'm protecting myself. Well, I'm comfortable here. It's peaceful for me here. You guys, that's that beguiling, the bewitching, right? Carrot on a string, hypnotizing. Okay. You guys, we must at all cost be like Yeshua, and it's difficult. The soul doesn't want to. We must sacrifice for one another. We must get out of what's comfortable. We must not focus on ourselves and raise ourselves and other things up as more important than obeying Father and doing what He says to do. You guys, because this is getting really, really intense. I'm seeing it. It multiplies by the day and by the week. And it's that battle of dark versus light, right? So you guys meditate on that scripture. Focus on becoming or seeking after, with Yeshua, becoming full of grace and truth and His glory. Because if we're full of other things and we focus too much on this five senses, the cares of life, we will get full of the world, which is full of death, which is full of corruption, darkness, decay. And that's not what the sons of the Most High need to be. So, I don't know, I just wanted to take this little bit of time here to kind of focus in the binoculars, like binoculars, right? Or a telescope. And take a look at this together, because you guys, this is becoming, I see the magnitude of it, because of the sight that Father has given me. But I think if y'all look at it and see, ask Father to show you, take any blinders off to where we're oblivious. I think He'll show you, because to me, it's just dangerous, right? So I'm waving red flags and hitting them sirens to get you to look at it. So anyway, that's it. And everybody, Shabbat Shalom. And I pray Father bless all of you and manifest Himself to you and glorify Himself in each and every one of you. Okay? Until next time. Bye-bye.